Terence Crawford is now training with Floyd Mayweather, and that's big news. With his fight against Canelo coming up, this could be a game changer. Crawford is building the perfect team to beat Canelo. Oscar De La Hoya, the Hall of Famer and former promoter of Canelo Alvarez, recently shared his unfiltered thoughts on the Canelo vs. Terence Crawford showdown. Speaking with brutal honesty, De La Hoya didn't hold back when asked who he thinks has the edge, and his comments are raising eyebrows across the boxing world.
We can all see it. Canelo's declining. We can see it because Father Time just catches up to you. That's just the name of the game, the nature of the beast, right? Crawford, I mean, he's the same age as well, you know? Different types of lifestyles, different styles. You know, Canelo's getting into some wars now, which kind of like chips away at the block, you know? Do I favor him over Canelo? I don't know. I think it's a 50-50 fight at this point.
On the other hand, Teofimo Lopez breaks down Crawford's bold move versus Canelo's pressure to defend 168. He called it a big matchup and said it's great for boxing. Teofimo looked at both sides of the fight, from Crawford's massive leap in weight to Canelo's need to prove he still rules at 168. He broke it down clearly.
I think it's a good matchup. It's good noise, so to speak, you know, and it's good for the sport of boxing. You get to see what Crawford could do going up 3 weight classes, you know, which is a huge step up and on his part. And then you get to see Canelo and see if he's able to maintain the 168-pound division. You know, he's been there for quite some time, and we've seen Canelo go up to 75 to fight Bivol. It didn't look too well for him, you know, but we'll see. I think it's a great matchup. Obviously, Canelo has to do his part in winning and collecting another belt to become undisputed once again in that weight class against William Skull. So it's a great matchup. I think that is definitely eye-pleasing for the crowd.
While some in the boxing world are picking Crawford to pull off the upset, not everyone is convinced. Veteran trainer Joel Diaz didn't hold back when giving his brutally honest take on why he thinks this fight isn't as close as people believe.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov?
Diaz continued, pointing to Canelo's proven ability to take damage at higher weight classes and questioning whether Crawford could handle the same kind of power. He broke down the size jump and why, in his view, Crawford simply doesn't have enough to hurt Canelo.
Okay, Madrimov is a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Rolly Romero didn't hold back when talking about the Canelo versus Crawford fight. He believes it's not even close and says size will be the deciding factor. For Rolly, Crawford might be talented, but going up against someone as big and strong as Canelo is a bad idea.
Anyone that thinks Crawford has a chance is a complete idiot. They have weight classes for a reason.
Too big? Too skilled?
Way too big, way too skilled. And this isn't a skill matchup. It has nothing to do with skill.
Meanwhile, Bozy Ennis watched Canelo closely and didn't like what he saw. He believes Crawford has a real chance to beat him, not just on points. Ennis points to the key advantages of Crawford's movement, power, and mindset. When asked directly, Bozy didn't hesitate to speak his mind.
I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box. Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the street, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. And I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo.
While Bozy Ennis sees a possible stoppage, not everyone agrees. Boxing analyst Rob Acosta sees the fight playing out differently. He respects Crawford's skills, but questions if that will be enough on the scorecards. His take is more cautious, focused on strategy, and the harsh reality of judging in big fights.
I can totally see Crawford outboxing Canelo, like bad, making him look like taking him straight to school. But again, I do not see Crawford stopping Canelo. I don't see him knocking him out. I don't see any of that. I do see Crawford taking him to 12 and winning. Here's the problem. Can he really win though? Can he really go 12 rounds
And win a decision?
And win a decision and really, really show that I completely outclassed you in every way, shape, or form? That's how we gotta look at it. That's the reality of it.
Here it is, the official face-off. The date is September 12th, Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. For the undisputed super middleweight
After hearing bold takes from trainers and analysts, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. offered a more balanced view. He didn't pick a clear winner, but instead pointed to something deeper. For Roy, this fight isn't just about skills, it's about mindset, hunger, and which version of Canelo shows up.
It's a hard to call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. If Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and shows that he really wants to go out and prove whether he's still the best, he might win.
In a surprising turn, Terence Crawford and former rival trainer Derek James have put their differences aside. With the Canelo fight approaching, unity in the camp could make all the difference. And this moment says a lot.
I'll leave number or am I going? I didn't think I got this. Okay, send me now. I'll keep going.
Caleb Plant weighed in on Crawford's chances after watching Canelo's last fight. He didn't read too much into it. For Plant, styles make fights, and Crawford brings a completely different challenge. He expects a tougher, more competitive fight in September, and believes fans shouldn't judge too early based on past opponents.
It's a stylistic matchup, you know, and Williams Cole don't fight nothing like Terence Crawford. So we're not going to see the same type of fight come September. I think we're going to see a great fight.
Caleb Plant was also asked about a possible future fight with Crawford if Terence managed to take the belts from Canelo. Caleb Plant didn't hesitate. He said he's always focused on the top names at super middleweight and made it clear he's willing to face anyone, including a rising Crawford. Caleb Plant was asked about Crawford moving up in weight to fight Canelo. He admitted it's a big jump, but also said Crawford is a special kind of fighter. Instead of picking sides, Plant said he's just excited to watch and enjoy a great fight as a fan.
You know, you may think about it for a second and say, oh, well, there's weight classes for a reason, right? But Crawford's a special guy, you know what I'm saying? And so I think it's going to be a great fight, and I'm just a fan on that one.
The buzz around Crawford versus Canelo isn't just in the gyms and studios, it's already showing in ticket sales. The moment the fight was announced, fans rushed to grab seats, and what happened next shows just how massive this event is.
AXS is already selling the tickets for this fight, and the tickets are bizarre, extremely high, right? But not only are they massively high, but they are sold out. Now, these tickets are sold out because they're going to buy and resell the tickets. There are no floor seats available for this.
With the excitement growing for Crawford versus Canelo, not everyone is worried about Crawford's age. Bernie Thaw Boxer shared his thoughts, explaining why Crawford is ready for this fight. He made it clear that age isn't a problem, and talked about why this matchup is so important for Crawford. Bernie went on to talk about the big challenge Crawford faces. He explained that moving up in weight to fight Canelo is a huge step. For Bernie, the fight is tough, but Crawford's passion and love for boxing make him a real threat in the ring.
Hardest puncher, great counter puncher, tons of experience, undisputed champion, unified champion, a couple of divisions champion, and so we didn't get the Pacquiao or the Mayweather, but we getting Canelo, and nothing comes easy to Team Crawford, and expect us to look good on the 12th. Expect us to come out victorious.
One of the most talked about young prospects today, Kermel Moton, who's been mentored by Floyd Mayweather himself, recently shared his take on Canelo versus Crawford. Despite being just 17, Moton already shows the IQ of a seasoned pro, and he didn't hold back when breaking down how he sees this fight going.
68, that's a big jump for Crawford, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like it could go similar to the fight how it just went with Skull, but with Crawford throwing a little bit more punches and then, you know, getting on his toes, boxing, and then he letting his hands go more. So he might be able to edge a decision out against Canelo, out boxing. So I feel like Canelo struggle with fighters that are good on their feet. And or there's a possibility that Canelo, you know, walks him down and Crawford doesn't really adapt to the weight and the power up at 68. So I guess we'll just see how it goes. But I know both of them are real great fighters, and I'm just excited to watch it.
With the Crawford versus Canelo fight quickly approaching, Tiger Johnson shared his thoughts on who would come out on top. He talked about Canelo's long career and how Crawford's youth and fire could be the key to victory in this exciting matchup.
I think Canelo is a hell of a fighter. I think he's gonna come to fight, but I think he's slowed down a lot. You know, he's not really. You gotta think. A lot of people don't realize, man. Canelo been fighting since he was 15. He's been professional since he was 15. So he's been in the game since he was a kid. So, you know, he done fought legends in his prime, man. Floyd Mayweather, he 23, 24 years old, fighting Floyd and Shane Mosley and all these, you know what I'm saying? He fought a lot of legends at an early time, man.
When asked if Crawford could stop Canelo in their upcoming fight, Tiger Johnson didn't rule it out. He explained how Crawford's hard work and perfect game plan could give him the chance to land the right punch, making this fight one of the most exciting matchups in recent years.
Do you think, you know, most people think that if he's going to win, it'll be like a boxing masterclass, but do you think he could stop Canelo?
I think it's possible. I for sure think it's possible, man. If Bud catching, you know, with the right, you know what I'm saying, the right punch, if the right situation happens, I think Bud can clip him. But for sure, man, you know, they gonna be ready, man. Like, you know, Bud, man, he work hard, man. So I think Bud, they gonna have the perfect game plan. I think they gonna execute real good, man. I think they gonna give. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know, it's gonna be real entertaining, and I think it's gonna be, you know, one of the best fights of the century.
Rising star Israel Madrimov shared his thoughts on the Canelo versus Crawford showdown. Known for his power and technical skill, Madrimov offered a balanced take on how the fight could unfold and what makes Crawford such a dangerous opponent in any weight class.
If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think.
Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, what do you think about that fight if they did fight? Looks like it's up for September.
Good fight. You know, if 168 pounds, I think it's Canelo, but it's Canelo better technique because 50-50. If 12 rounds, Crawford win, I think. If knockout, it's Canelo.
Former undefeated champion Andre Ward didn't hesitate to back his pick. Despite the major size jump, Ward believes Crawford's mindset and adaptability make him a nightmare for anyone, including the great Canelo Alvarez.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this The last couple of years, I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
UFC fan favorite and NFL star Max Crosby was also asked to weigh in on the mega fight between Canelo and Crawford. While he praised both fighters, Crosby leaned slightly toward the naturally bigger man. Here's what he had to say about this high-stakes clash. Reggie Bush recently gave his take on the Canelo versus Crawford fight.
That's almost impossible to answer. That's going to be an absolute dogfight. I have to go Canelo. I think he's a little bit bigger, and I think that's going to work to his advantage, but that'll be one of the best fights, period.
Knockout or decision?
Decision.
And he made it clear this matchup stands out to him. He talked about why it's more exciting than other fights and praised the talents both men bring to the ring.
All right, so I actually like this fight better than Canelo with Terence Crawford because you're going to get two dogs, two guys who are very talented individuals. I mean, Canelo, he's just a great fighter, man. He's so smooth. And his defense, I think that's the thing that sticks out to me is Canelo's defense. His head movement, it's literally nearly impossible to hit this guy, you know? And so Terence Crawford is a power puncher. He has great power. I think this is so technical.
Nico Ali Walsh, the grandson of Muhammad Ali, also weighed in on the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo and Crawford. With admiration for both fighters, he shared his honest thoughts on the matchup, especially Crawford's bold move up in weight.
Canelo Alvarez, but Crawford.
We were talking about a real fight. Yeah. Canelo versus Crawford. You're asking for my prediction?
Yes.
Everyone's talking about like Crawford's jumping up weight classes, this and that. Canelo's one of the #1 pound-for-pound guys. Crawford's one of the #1 pound-for-pound guys. If anybody can do it, it's Bud and Bud only.
If anyone can, but will.
I don't know what's gonna happen. You know who I'm rooting for is Bud. Canelo's my favorite fighter today. Bud's one of my favorite fighters today. But I've watched Canelo since he started. But I would be Team Bud for that fight.
As the buzz continues to grow around the historic clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, many believe this could be a legacy-defining moment for Crawford. With the chance to jump multiple weight classes and defeat one of boxing's biggest names, the stakes couldn't be higher. Boxing analyst Fannin stated it.
Terence Crawford will be fighting Canelo Alvarez. It will be billed as a fight. If Terence Crawford wins it, will make him one of the greatest fighters of all time because he was able to go up from 154 to 168 and become an undisputed champion.
He further added, Terence Crawford himself had said that a win against Canelo Alvarez would put him on the level of Muhammad Ali, who many people consider to be the greatest fighter of all time, if not the greatest heavyweight of all time. And also noted, but at the very least, somebody with a track record in the sport of boxing that is almost unparalleled, if not completely unparalleled. This fight isn't just another big name showdown. For Terence Crawford, it's a shot at making boxing history. If he beats Canelo Alvarez, he won't just win a belt, he'll become the first boxer ever to be undisputed in 3 different weight classes. That means he'd be the top champion at 135, 147, and now 168 pounds, something no one else has done. It would take Crawford from being one of the best today to one of the greatest ever. Some people even say it could put him in the same league as legends like Muhammad Ali, but there's a reason this fight is such a challenge. Canelo is strong, experienced, and used to fighting at this heavier weight. He's dominant at 168 and has the power to stop almost anyone. That's why this fight is so exciting. It's not just about belts, it's about legacy. Crawford is risking everything to chase greatness, and Canelo is fighting to protect his throne. Can Crawford pull this off and stop Canelo, or will Canelo prove once again why he's the king of 168? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.